This week we're going to access the AWS GOES data archive using the GOES2GO package and use it to make an animation like this. Welcome to another MetPy Monday. Hello, I'm John Lehman, a software engineer for NSF Unidata. This week I want to look at a package that we haven't looked at before, which is GOES2GO. And this lets us access GOES imagery that's up on the AWS archive in an easy way, and it does some nice things like locally cache some of that imagery for us so that if we're trying to access an image that we've accessed before, we have that stored on disk. So first we're going to do our imports. From GOES2GO.data, I'm going to import GOES nearest time. If you don't have GOES2GO installed, you can do that from conda-forge using conda install-c conda-forge, that specifies the channel, GOES2GO. All right, and then from datetime, I'm going to import the datetime object. And finally, I'm going to import Matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, since we'll be doing some animations. But before we do an animation, it's always wise to see, can I get data to start with? And can I use that data to make just a simple plot? So we get a couple of warnings here, that's okay. But we're going to first get one single image using GOES2GO. So I'm going to use the GOES nearest time function that we imported. And if we look at the signature, there's lots of options here, but we're mainly going to focus on, in this tutorial, getting the ABI, or Advanced Baseline Imager, from GOES-16, and we're going to get that back as an X-array. We've talked about working with GOES data before, but mostly it's working with live GOES data, or GOES data that we have a short archive of on thread servers, but here we can go back far into the archive and we can get also products other than the ABI. So to start out with, I'm just going to get December 1st at 18Z, so midday in the US. I'm going to request it from GOES-16. I'm going to use the ABI, and I want to return that as an X-array. So when we do that, you see that file already exists, do not overwrite, and it shows where that file is on my disk, and it reads that in. So that means I've already accessed this file. But what if I go forward an hour to a file that I haven't accessed before? Well, in this case, it's going to go look and see that it needs to download that file. It does download that to my local data directory and then reads it in. Now if I try to run that cell again, it's going to say the file already exists. So this just saves you a lot of bandwidth and saves headache on the server as well. Now, luckily getting these false true color images is really simple using this library. So I'm going to use the imshow command, and on my data set, I want an RGB image, true color. And there we go. Now there's lots of information in the documentation on this if you want to dig into how this is generated and other ways that you can work with the ABI imagery. But here I mostly want to showcase how easy it is using the GOES2GO library to actually get data. And now we're going to go get a lot of data, and we're going to use that to create an animation. So something that would have taken many, many lines in a notebook before, we're going to be able to do in a dozen or so lines. So how are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to use a couple of loops. We could get time ranges, but in this case, I only want to get 3 snapshots of time during the day from a range of days. So I'm just going to use nested loops, and I'm going to store the results in an images list. So for a day in range 20 to 31, which means we're going to go from 20 up to, but not including 31. For hour in, and I'm going to provide a list of 13, 18, and 23Z. I'm going to try getting data using goes nearest time at the date time of 2024, September, day, hour. This is when Hurricane Helene was forming, making landfall, and then dissipating. So we should have some interesting imagery. Again, we're going to be getting data from GOES-16. We're going to be getting the advanced baseline imager product. And we're going to be returning it as an X-array. I'm going to append the RGB true color data. And I don't want to keep that whole giant X-array in this big list. I just want the data that I need. I can throw away the other channels that are not being used. And except if there is a file not found error, meaning that there are no data available, I just want to see a message that says no file for day, hour, Z. That way we can just make sure that we're not missing huge swaths of data. And we'll let this run. Now this is going to take a little bit. Nope, we've got date, time there. This is going to take a little bit because there are a lot of images to get. So start this and grab a cup of coffee and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, so now we're ready to make our animation. So first we're going to just create a figure and an axis as we normally would, just making a regular old plot using plot.subplots. And we're going to plot on that axis using imshow. And I'm going to look at my images list and start with the first image in it. So if we run that cell, all right, we've got an image. So we know that that works, nothing too complicated there. I'm going to grab a handle to that. And now I'm going to make a function to update that frame. I'm going to call it update, and it's going to take a frame. On my image handle, I'm going to call setArray, which lets us change the data being shown. Images, and we're going to index by whatever is passed as frame to this update function. And then I'm going to return the image that we're displaying. Okay, so there's my update function, nothing too complicated there. Then we're going to create a function animation using FuncAnimation, which means we're going to need to import FuncAnimation. So from Matplotlib.animation, we're going to import FuncAnimation. We're going to give it our figure, the update function, the number of frames. I'm going to use len images. So that's going to pass that integer, telling us what frame that we're on. I'm going to pause for 1 second or 1000 milliseconds. Turn blitting on and repeat. I'm going to set that to true as well so that we continuously loop. And then from IPython.display, going to import the HTML display. And using that on my animation, I'm going to call to JavaScript HTML so that we get a nice inline display in the notebook. Now this will take just a second to render because we have a fair number of images here, but they're already stored in that images list. And what we're going to get is an animation HTML representation showing up that we can play, pause, control, go forward, go backward, and so on. Okay, and here it is. Now we could obviously do a little bit of cleanup, removing some axis labels and so on. But in just a few lines of code, we have this animation where we pulled 3 images per day as the hurricane forms. They're off to the lower right of the screen. Now we see the shape of the hurricane and the eye makes landfall, and then dissipates. So with very, very little code, we were able to accomplish this thanks to the Amazon archive, GOES2GO, and FuncAnimation from Matplotlib. I hope that you found this useful, and I'll see you on next week's MetPy Monday.